Hello, everyone. Welcome to the market simulation call for fall 2021. My name is Anshuman Vaidya. I'm your market simulation lead, and today is September 16, 2021. Calls and webinars are recorded for stakeholder convenience, allowing those who are unable to attend to listen to the recordings after the meetings. The recordings will be publicly available on the ISO webpage for a limited time following the meetings. The recordings and any related transcription should not be reprinted without the ISO permission. We'll follow the following agenda today. We'll talk about map stage availability. We'll talk about the fall 2021 release, market simulation initiatives and their timelines. We'll talk about the initiatives separately. We'll talk about a few known issues that our customers have faced, and we'll present it to you. And then we'll talk about any updates on the system interface changes for this release. And then we'll talk about the next steps. So for currently map stage availability, you can log in to portalmap.kaiso.com to get up-to-date system information. Currently, we have the following maintenance scheduled. We'll have a network model update coming up in the market on Friday. It will probably be a 3-hour interruption. Then we have CMRI maintenance will be unavailable from 17th to 22nd. And then we have OSS that will be unavailable from 17th to 21st. And cyber will be unavailable on 24th. Any questions for the upcoming maintenance schedule? All right.
Hi, Anshuman. This is Ray calling from PG&E.
Go ahead, Ray.
For the CMRI and the OASIS pause in NAVStage, is that for the ESTER 4 initiative?
That is correct. It is for ESTER 4 initiative. And let me go to the next slide. That's why you would see that we are moving the ESTER 4 market simulation date on 23rd. We want our system to be completely ready for our market participants to test. And we're still deploying the code on the CMRI, and then there is a security testing that we go through for all these external facing applications. And that's why we need to move this date to 23rd.
Okay, appreciate it, Anshuman. Thank you.
No problem. And I'll go back to the previous slide if somebody has any other questions regarding the maintenance.
Hi, Anshuman. This is Chenyu from PG&E. I do have a follow-up question.
Sure.
Since the connectivity for ESTER 4 is this week, I believe it's all the way to the 21st. And how you suggest that we will have time to do the connectivity before September 23rd with this window, with this maintenance window?
Right. So I think before you do connective testing, we need to have our security testing complete. And we are going to start our security testing, I think, on Monday. And after that, I can let you know when you can try to connect to the system to verify your connectivity testing. Anybody else from Kaiso wants to add anything to this? All right. I guess I covered everything. Chenyu, does that satisfy your answer?
Not really, because I'm looking at the CMRI. It's being unavailable until the 22nd, right? And then 23rd,
right.
It's right away. It is the trade day for the structure. So when you say that we should wait till after the security testing, so is your security testing is it from the 20th to the 22nd or 20th to the 21st?
So when we say it will be unavailable till 22nd, the security testing will be done by 22nd. So you should be able to access the MRI system on 22nd.
On the 22nd, not on the 23rd.
I mean 22nd onwards.
Okay, I
Like
am a
it
little
will be available.
confused on the date. When you
Hi,
say
sorry.
22nd, oh, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Sorry.
Okay, thank you, Chenyu. That's a good question and clarification, an important one for all of these maintenance items. So for CMRI, we do anticipate closing MapStage tomorrow for the implementation and executing our security testing on Monday and Tuesday. So we should be done by the end of the day Tuesday, barring any issues, and then we should even be able to open that evening on the 21st, Tuesday itself. But if we still need to review anything, I put the maintenance ending on the 22nd with the expectation that we may need to open in the morning of the 22nd versus the evening of the 20th. But we do anticipate, based on our current schedule, that the CMRI system will be available on the 22nd morning, so it'll be available that day. But again, just to give ourselves any time to review the results and of our security testing, I wanted to allow us the whole day for Tuesday to finish executing those tests, that testing, and then set expectations that we would be open by the morning on the 22nd. And then that's the same for OASIS too, is that we plan to execute the testing on Monday and have it available by Tuesday the 21st in the morning. But just for those that would try to log in first thing in the morning and it not be available, I just wanted to make sure that that we were clear there. So Chenyu, please let us know if you have other questions on that.
Sure. Thank you for, providing that level of clarity. So can you guys do us a favor? Because I think that having the status on the MapStage, it really helps because we know when it comes to Tuesday, there's no market sim call. Instead of picking up the phone and call you guys, if you have the status as if CMRI is expected to be up by 1 p.m. or something, so have the status on the portal, and we will know for sure. Then when we try to go into the morning, understand maybe in the afternoon it will be open. It will be very helpful.
Yeah, thank you for using the portal and referring to that for those updates. That's definitely something that we can do in between the calls. Yep. All right. Thanks.
Thank you, thanks for the update. All right, any other questions that we can talk about here? All right, moving on. So here's the timeline for market simulation initiatives for fall 2021. A couple of changes here for energy storage and distributed energy resources phase 4 implementation. We're moving the structured scenario date to 9/23. Now, the code will be available from starting 9/21, but a few systems like CMRI and OASIS will not be available to review the results. And on 23rd, after the maintenance is done, we're planning to do the structured scenarios on 23rd. Another update is for start-long start definitions project. We are moving this project market simulation date to be decided right now. We're hoping to have this code in the MapStage system by early October. We took it down. There are no scope changes for it. We just need to have it reviewed with our board again and trying. Maybe you want to provide a few more update points on this?
Sure. Thank you, Anshman. So we've given updates in various forums about the expectation for short, long start definitions. As you know, we're taking that initiative in front of the board, and then we'll file the tariff after that for the production activation. So right now, production activation is planned for early 2022, potentially by February, and that's going to be to be confirmed after the board and the tariff filing. So for the market simulation, what we're planning to do is continue with our preparation for market simulation, our internal testing, and then making that code available in the MapStage environment for you to start. And so what we're looking at, like Anshuman said, is to be able to make the code available in MapStage and technically start that market simulation by October, and then just have a longer market sim period for that we will support until the production activation later on. And then if there's any other changes that come out of that, that will follow the normal project management of those changes. But again, just to reiterate what Anshuman said, there's no scope changes at this point. So the external BRS still applies, and that's what we're going to continue to test and make available in MapStage as soon as possible. Thanks, Anshuman.
Thank you, Trang. Any questions?
Yes, hi. This is Isaac with the SE. Just curious to see if HISO has any plans to move back the production implementation on any of these scenarios at this point, since we're going to, since a lot of these dates have been moving and delayed.
Isaac, I don't believe, other than short, long start definition, that we are moving any of the dates for production deployment, at least for now. We'll see how all the other projects proceed. And based on that, if there's a need to delay the production deployment date, then we can talk about it. But currently, I see everything going in line with the production deployment dates that were suggested earlier.
Okay. Just wanted to give you an idea. For SCE, I think our testing plan for unstructured scenarios for Esther 4 will take about 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. And that's just for front office submitting bids and validating the results, right? And then back office has to do their validation as well. So at this point, at least, it looks like we will need to push out just based on our testing plan. So just wanted to make you guys aware of that as well.
Okay, this is Adrian. I appreciate that feedback, and please continue to provide, transparency, I guess, in the kind of constraints or timelines you see on your side. Yeah, I think you may have seen in our tariff filing for ESDR 4 that we gave ourselves a buffer, right, just in case. So from that perspective, we have a little bit of buffer. I think our tariff filing says no later than December 1st. We don't want to get into the holidays, but definitely, as you know, our criteria for moving production is to, observe all the city tickets and make sure that market participants are comfortable with the code and the testing that went on. So we'll continue our conversation. What we're saying, we're not changing the target now. The target remains November 1st, but as we move on and assess the progress and the satisfaction that market participants have, regarding the results they see in MapStage, then we can make other decisions as we go.
Okay, thanks, Adrian.
Anshuman, this is Chanyu. Hi, Anshuman, this is Chanyu. So we just want to echo what Isaac just requested. And I think for us, for PG&E, we also would like 3 weeks of testing plus some time for validate the settlement statements as well for ESDR 4. Thank you.
Understood, Chanyu. And since we're moving this date, and I just want to let you know, I don't have a final authorization yet, but I'm hoping to get a few more settlement days. I was thinking of 6th of October and 13th of October, but we're discussing it internally, and I will let you know if I'm successful to get those settlement date out. And if not, then we'll talk about other dates.
All right. Did you say what are the 2 possible dates that you're going to extend to? 6th October or 13th?
6th of October. Yes, 6th October and 13th of October.
That's a Wednesday, right?
That's a Wednesday, correct.
Okay, so that means you will add trade date 5, 7, and the 12th, if you can push to the 13th.
Correct.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
And I'm still working internally to get those approved, and I'll let you know once it is done.
So we do have good news is that internally we have support and commitment to execute those two trade dates as settlements trade dates.
Oh, great. Thank you for the update, Trang.
Yep.
Any questions?
Sorry. Yes, one more. I just want to get this thing really clear. So giving the update, Trang just confirmed, and looks like we shall be at this point assuming the ESTER testing, it will carry on until the 13th, October 13th. And then also, I mean, of course, the settlement statements will come a little later, but at least from the execution point of view, we have it until the 13th.
That is correct, but we'll have to keep in mind that we are also proceeding with EAM entities market simulation testing, and we're reserving our CAISO resources on Tuesdays and Thursdays for those testings.
So, Ashwin, we'll leave that aside. I think, Chunyu, we offered those, listening to our, market participants and the need for that. We'll use those dates if necessary. If we hear that you want to do another, we offer several cycles, right, for settlements, and we said, I think we heard from you, we need more, and that's why we added those. Ashwin was pursuing and got approval for more, but those are just if needed, right? So if we can finish testing earlier, then that's fine. We can conclude, everyone is satisfied, and we conclude earlier. But settlements agree to add or support. I can tell you there's a lot of work on their side to support those additional efforts, those additional trade dates. So, but they said, okay, no, that's fine. If market participants are asking, then we'll support those extra dates in case it's necessary.
That's great. That's great to hear. Thank you, Adrian.
Thank you, Adrian. Any other questions? All right, moving on. So as we mentioned that for ESDR 4, we are doing the structured scenarios on September 23rd. Good news is today we got QRB approval to start testing real-time settlements review phase 2 project. And we will be performing the end-to-end market simulation for this project to start for trade date today. And we'll be publishing out the settlement statements so you can review and let us know if you need to change your UFE election. If so, then we can change those UFE elections and do another set of market simulation on September 28th, if needed. Any questions regarding these two projects?
Hi, Anshuman. This is Ray calling from PG&E again. I know scenario structure 1 and 2 require action from CAISO in regards to the RUC under gen and feasibility and the mitigation, the market power mitigation. Do we know which hours will those be enforced?
Thank you for bringing that question up, Ray. So I discussed with my team, and it's what I got from them was it is difficult to predict when the mitigation will happen. So we're suggesting that you put in bids for all hours, and we will use the whole time 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. to try to get any mitigated scenarios that we can.
Okay, thanks, Anshuman, for that, 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Anshuman, this is Chunyu. Can I ask a follow-up question for ESTER 4? So
yes,
scenario 2 is calling for the day ahead as well. And so you also, that's the plan for executing the scenario 1 and 2, those I'm referring to the structure on the 23rd?
That is correct. I mean, we found out a few issues while we were doing the end-to-end testing, but we have received the fixes for it. So we have to retest our scenarios for scenario number 2. And as soon as I have the results for it, I can give you more details in the next call.
Okay. The next call is Monday. Okay. Yeah, because it will be, if you stick to one trade date, if we were to put the day ahead, so we would need it before 10 o'clock on the 22nd to know if we need to put in the day ahead for the 23rd. Thank
Understood.
you.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right, moving on. So now we have the four projects which have unstructured market simulation. We have hybrid resources phase 2A, intertie shadow pricing resolution, EIM base schedule submission deadline phase 1, and short long start definition. Their business requirement specification documents are available here. Anybody has any questions regarding any of these projects?
Anshuman, this is Chunyu. I just have one suggestion. Understand you actually will support the intertie shadow pricing resolution beyond October 1. So you might want to reflect on the date
Change the
there.
date?
Yeah.
Yes, I would change that. Thank you. Yeah. All right, any other questions? All right, moving on. So there was one issue that was identified from a market participant that for ESTER 4, they were unable to submit the hourly SOC lower limit and SOC upper limit via API. We have registered that fix with our vendor. We have received the fix and we're testing it right now. And we hope to make it available by 21st. Any questions for this known issue?
Hey, Anshuman, this is Isaac SE again. So I think we will need to know by the next market sim call whether or not, because that will be kind of, you know, if that fix isn't in place, then we could potentially be looking at delaying the structure scenario, right?
So as I understand from our SME is that there is a workaround in place.
Yeah, but the workaround is requires code changes to XML files, and it doesn't make sense for us to ask our vendor to change code when this is an issue that will be addressed, and then we will have to remove the code later on.
I see. Understood, Isaac. I will talk to my SME and we'll try to make this fix in the MapStage environment as soon as possible.
Okay.
Hello, could you, this is Elvis Svoboda at PG&E. Could you describe the, sounds a little squirrely to me, this concept of a workaround on an API. Was that strictly for Market Sim, or what is being discussed here?
I'm sorry, I don't have a lot more in-depth detail about the workaround, but I can have my SME talk about it. Is Wendell on the line right now? I don't think I have my SME on the line to talk in depth about this issue, but I can get back to you on this.
Because I would agree with Isaac. This is the absolutely most fundamental piece of testing whether we'll be able to set target state of charge in under ESDR 4, and so there shouldn't be any workaround or anything. This is just simply this is the functionality. This is the functionality that's required for our being able to sign off and say that there is actually the functionality in the first place.
Understood, Alva. And I will send you more information on this via email. And being said that, I want to emphasize on that we have received the fix, and we're just trying to test it and make sure that it is available in MapStage.
Yeah, great. I would just reinforce what Isaac was saying, that if you don't have it working, you can't really start the ESDR 4 target state of charge simulation, in my opinion.
Understood. Thank you. Any other questions?
Anshuman, it's Stanley with PCI. So on this item, just to confirm, there's no additional tech spec changes or anything. The fix that you guys are applying is to make it work as described in the specs, correct?
That is my information as of now, yes.
Okay, thank you. Just to let you guys know, we were also experiencing issues doing the submissions, but we had not doing the city ticket yet. So that's good to hear that it's already been identified.
Good to know. Thank you, Stanley. Any other questions regarding this? All right, moving on. So these are the system interface changes that are coming with the OSI project and variable operations and maintenance projects. It will be affecting MRIS and master file. They have been deployed in map stage on 8/30, and the production deployment dates are shown here. Any questions regarding these two system interface changes? All right, moving on. With fall release, we have Ester 4, Hybrid Resources Phase 2 and Anti-Shadow Pricing Resolution, which will have the following system interface changes. So we have received the fixes for SIMRI and OSS, and they're going to map stage as we discussed earlier on 9/22. And that is for Ester 4 and Anti-Shadow Pricing Resolution. Those are the new added dates for this table. So anybody has any questions regarding that? Perfect. All right, moving on. Well, that's all I had for today's teleconference. The next teleconference is scheduled on September 20 at 2 p.m. And now I'll open up for any other questions that I can help with. All right, well, thank you everyone for joining the call. See you back again on 20th of September.
Thanks, Benjamin.
Thank you.